We did it. We are selling ammo. NazoAmmo.com. We teamed up. Keystone Munitions, quality, premium product. We're selling it online. What do? You go to NazoAmmo.com. First thing that pops up, what's this? It's an email list. What's the email list do? It's going to give you access to promo codes. It's going to give you access to events, T-shirts, apparel, everything we're doing. Get on that email list. You want 45? 45's not on the website, but then it's coming in. You're ahead of the curve. You're ahead of the guy who's just finding out about it. You're a part of the family. Very fast and furious how we do everything around here. Nazo Ammo. We are moving Keystone Munitions. Premium products. We're doing it. You want to pick up? You don't want to have it sent? You're Carl. You live down the road? Pick up Nazo at the promo code at the end. Now you're picking up ammo here. We're doing it, man. We are doing it. Nazo Ammo. www.nazoammo.com. Small town, big ammo. 5anddimeeaston.com. They have their website officially up. You can shop most of their stuff online. They also have Fucked. They have Fucked in the store. I think they're the only one allowed to sell Fucked out of their store. It's 484-544-4719. That's at 5anddimeeaston on social media. These guys are great. I mean, they're killing it. It's the best skate shop, in my opinion, in the area. They have a lot of cool stuff there. Both the owners are rad. I stop in when I can. They're open Monday through Friday, 11 to 7, Saturday, 10 to 7, and Sunday, 11 to 5. There is someone always there to help you out with your needs. You can check their inventory off the website. You can check out some videos they got on there, and they're doing some cool things. Their social media is awesome. They support a lot of local skaters in the area, and they're growing. I'm excited to be a part of them growing. I'm excited to help them out. They're helping me out. It's a good relationship, and I push 5 and Dime Easton because they're the best skate shop in the area. Check them out. BTG Blasting. My man, Pat Cunningham, offering you pressure washing, disinfecting, acid washing, and rust removal. It is a high pressure washing business, bringing your stuff back to glory. He does anything from houses all the way to having him come into the studio. He comes down to the studio on a schedule and he disinfects the studio, and we are certifiably clean, and it just covers all the bases. So with the things that are going on now, you're going to need somebody like this. He's got a sticker out front. I am certifiably clean down here. He also offers free estimates on all your needs. He can do corporate and at home. You can reach him at 484-241-1711 and btgblasting@gmail.com. He just started this business and it is taking off. I'm super excited for him, and I'm super excited that he's a sponsor of the show. And you can check out BTG Blasting on social media for all of your pressure washing, disinfecting, acid wash, and rust removal needs. It's high pressure washing, bringing your stuff back to glory. He offers many things, and you need to check him out. Eric K. Dowdle, defense attorney. We had him on the show, and what crazy stories this guy's had. He's helped a ton of people over the years, and if you're looking for help, he is your guy. You can contact them at 610-882-3000, and it's ekdefense.com. Do you have a pending court case? Do you have a court appearance and need a defense lawyer? Do you need proper representation? Felony, misdemeanor, drug offense, assault, homicide, DUI, traffic violation, appeals. Reach out to Eric. Check out the podcast we did with him as well. It has his whole story on there. If you need help, Eric is here to help you. He sponsors the show. We appreciate it. He's going to be doing a monthly thing with us. Eric will be a part of the family now. Thank you for sponsoring. Let me know when you're ready. You good? I got the 45 on.
It's recording. We're good.
Welcome to Never Again Radio. How are you?
I'm great.
It's like, oh, me.
Is this your first time doing a podcast or anything like this?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You approached me about, or I don't even know how we got connected, but I've always been into fishing and outdoor stuff. My grandfather was a big fisherman. Two of my brothers still are heavy into hunting and fishing, so I always support this lane. How did you get into hunting, fishing, all this kind of stuff as a child? I mean, we were talking earlier. You said you were at Mike's bait shop when you were 2.
Yeah, the OG.
Yeah, kind of peel back on how you grew up and got into this.
So, born and raised in Nazareth here, and I've
Whoop,
been... Shout out.
Yeah.
Cement Head Posse.
Local boys.
What's up?
Clipper football.
Been hunting since I was probably 8, fishing since I was like 3. It's funny, in elementary school, you know how they do like
Did you go to Bushkill?
I did not.
How dare you, Schaefer?
Schaefer.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Roadrunner pride, brother.
I was a townie.
Yeah, Roadrunner pride. Right.
But you know how they do like the yearbook stuff where it's like, what do you want to do when you get older, this and that?
Yeah.
And I tried finding it before I came here. I couldn't find it. It was literally like, I want to have my own outdoor show.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I've been doing it, fishing, hunting since my whole life. My grandparents, both of them fish.
Yeah.
My dad's dad, huge hunter. Dad's into everything. So we're going to try and go out Sunday. Maybe down to Sandy Hook or something. Take the boat.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I grew up, my grandfather was, he was heavy into fishing, and I remember he would take us out on the boat, and it was always uncomfortable, and I was always scared because we were so young. And then when I got older, I realized that he was only doing it for extra rods. Like, you know what I mean? Like he was like, we were rod holders.
Like,
that was it.
You're just a placeholder. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun though. It's one of the hobby you can do from the time you're 3 to 95.
Yeah.
There's no.
He always had hunting dogs. He would always go hunting. I remember we would always go fishing, and we'd catch it, and we'd come home, and then he would gut it. He had this area where he would come home and
Fillet
gut it,
and
and
everything,
and it was just he would show us, but a lot of it was just he wanted extra help. But I mean, I vividly remember it, and I grew up in it. And my brother Richard, he still fishes to this day, and like he has all of his old hunting equipment after he passed, and it's just something that was embedded into the family.
Yeah, tradition is cool.
Do you have brothers and sisters, or anyone that was fishing besides you?
So my parents divorced when I was very early. So I have 2 sisters on my dad's side, a brother, and then 2 brothers from my mom.
Yeah.
So no full siblings.
But are any of them into this as well?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, all of them.
So super family thing.
Yep.
Richard's wife, Stacy, she told me a story where she said she would never marry a hunter because she has 3 brothers and all of them are hunting. Her dad hunted, and like they just had to put up with like the hunting season and all that, and then married Richard, and and then he got pulled over to them hunting more because it was 3-1. And then now he's over in Jersey hunting with them all the time, and it's cool to watch from a distance and see like what my grandfather did, and it still go on to my brother.
My wife doesn't get it. Do you see there was a bear? Yeah.
That was crazy.
Oh, I didn't even change any of this.
You're all right.
Good. Do you see that there was a bear right in front of my house?
Yep.
So
It was that close? People were telling me about it, and I'm like, get out of here.
My grandparents, their backyard, it was right there.
Yeah. So
Crazy.
My wife sent me a video, and I just heard somebody babbling, like walking their dog, and I said, "Well, why'd you send me this?" And somebody's just randomly saying dumb stuff, and I go, "Well, I don't understand when you send me this." And she's like, "You need to zoom in the background. There's a bear." And I go, "There's a bear." No, there was a bear.
How big was it?
Yeah.
Well, do you remember when there was one came through and was at the library, and they
years ago in the trees.
They trank it.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, they this one was just running across. It was running up Green Street, coming up, and right at the intersection, it ran through. But it ran through, and then the neighbor was outside gardening. And all of a sudden, she goes, and you can see her run in her house. And then I told my mom, and I go, man, that would fucking pack the freezer downstairs. And she goes, the bear was probably so scared. And I go, yeah, that's what I thought too when I saw it. No, I didn't think.
Did they trank that one?
I don't know.
I didn't hear anything else about it.
I heard it went up towards Holy Family. So
I mean, I don't know where it came from down. I don't even know where it came from. You think it would have to come from Holy Family?
You think probably by S Rock right there, maybe?
There's not that much woods there, though.
That's true.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
How would it get over the fence?
And it was running full down the middle of the street. So she's like, it was probably so scared. Yeah, that's what I thought, too. It's just scared. We should probably let it. I go, maybe you should stop stealing fucking picnic baskets.
My parents are... Zingers.
Take that fucker down.
My parents are in Bushkill. And,
that's different. You'll see.
Well, no, we never had.
No?
We would see... I think we saw tracks once because we would want stuff like that. So, but we never... I mean, there was more sightings in Nazareth than in our neighborhood, which is crazy because we're literally 5-minute drive to the bottom of the Appalachian.
No, my aunt's
parking lot there.
Yeah, my aunt's up in East Stroudsburg, and they have black bear all the time. Yeah. They'll come out and they'll mess with the trampoline and stuff, but they'll fucking shoot it. They don't hold back. It's like, it's our land. Bam! Like, I don't know what happened. Something went off. Yeah, I don't know. Bears, they can fuck up a lot of stuff. I don't want to.
Yeah, I'm not. No, fuck bears. Shoot that.
It's a cute little bear. No, it's not. It's not. Was it gonna ride a fucking little bicycle and you're gonna cheer for it? No.
Where did you go fishing growing up?
All throughout Bushkill Creek, right there.
Yeah.
Grandfather took me up to the Broadhead, up by East Stroudsburg there. My one grandfather lives on Sailor's Lake, so we go up there all the time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
We call him the Cherokees. Like, he could live by himself in the woods for sure. But we go to Sandy Hook all the time. That's why I'm trying to go Sunday. That's like a tradition from my dad, his dad. Go down there. Stripers are running blues. So I was hoping to get the mold to do something here live, but it'll come tomorrow.
You could always come back, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense.
I love this stuff. Like I said, it's been a part of our family, and just, a friend of mine's just getting into fishing again, and every time, like, he brought it up, and I was like, man, like, I miss it, and it's something that I don't make time for that I wish I did. But we used to have a pond. It's still there, but like diagonal from my parents' backyard. There used to not be. There's two neighborhoods behind their house now, but we used to take our bikes, cut through the field, and we'd take our fishing equipment down there, and we would just fish all day. And then the pond on 512, and then went on a couple fishing trips and stuff. But then it was just something that just had other shit going on. But I used to go with Bobby all the time, and we would go. Just find lakes and stuff like that around here. Stockertown Rod and Gun Club. Yep. I think one summer we did that, and it was just, I don't know. I've always enjoyed fishing.
That tourney was always fun.
Yeah, it's still nice there. It's still peaceful there, except for the stupid Canadian geese. It's pretty fucking bad there. A couple of years ago, it was really bad. Yeah, that's what it did.
Every stepping in.
Dude, it's just everywhere. And then when I went shooting 2 weeks ago. And I was pulling up, and there was probably like 20 of them there crossing the thing. So I stopped, and I was waiting, and I was like, come on. And the people are just staring at me. And the guy pulls me aside, and he goes, you had the perfect opportunity to take out like 20 of those things. And I was like, not with my car. I'm not touching anything. But yeah, it's nice. I still like Stockertown. It's still quiet.
Yeah. And nice for young kids and stuff right off the...
Yeah, they do a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they do a lot. Let's repeat what you said. I know Tim took Ivan down a couple times, and they do like the kids tournaments and stuff, and they're always like pushing pro kids getting into fishing and stuff. Is there still like... Because I remember we used to have... and we should reach back out to him. Howdy folks, howdy. What's his face? I can't remember his name. Fish on, Mike. He... Average Joe Fishing Show.
You need to reach out with him.
Yeah,
that's a great name.
Yeah, he does a lot of fishing, and he has like content he puts up and stuff, and he does a lot of stuff where like he just like wants kids to get into fishing, and
he posts like all the dates of when all the free fishing is and everything like that. He's a good dude. Yeah, cool. He's into it, man.
I forgot he used to come on it. He used to come on and like he would come on as like he'd be like, yo, Mike, can I come back on? Fishing season's coming up. And like the show would be him promoting fish. Like he's completely obsessed with getting people into fishing. It's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I don't know where, is he from here, the area though?
Yeah, he's from the area.
Is it Easton?
I think he goes up to, what's the lake up there? Mincy or?
Mincy?
Yeah.
So when they drain Mincy, a lot of those fish they put into Albert Pond. Right there off of 33.
Yeah.
Is Mincy, is that back now?
It's back, yeah.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when they were doing that. People were bitching.
Yeah.
Yeah, what
you
did
have
they
to,
do?
you gotta
Drain
clean
it?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was years and years of just everything. But yeah, they dumped everything, cleaned everything. People complained, but it's fine as long as it's okay. And it's going to be so much better now.
Should be.
Yeah, but people are just, wow, why'd you do that? It was like helping out at the skate park. Why'd you close the skate park? We're fixing it. Shut up.
Damned if you do, damned if you do.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, it's like Lake Wallenpaupack. There's probably about 9 million anchors down there that people just got stuck and just cut it. And they're like, oh, well.
I haven't been up there in a while. We used to go up every summer.
My car keys are in there. My $300 Costa sunglasses are in there.
I remember I feel terrible. My grandfather caught this giant fish, and he was in the paper for it. Like
Striper,
probably. Him and his buddy... Joe Bruin, I believe the guy's name, and they were fishing, and the fish was so fucking big, they had to wrestle it into the fucking boat, and he hit it over the head with a fucking oar and had to knock it out. And there's just a picture of him holding the fucking thing, and it's like, out past his arm length, and it was like in the paper, like Charles Ottenstein.
Wait,
Richard has it.
How did you ruin it?
No.
Okay.
What he caught it on was he used to make his own fishing lures.
Yeah.
So he had he would do a clear tube, and then he would put like a tin foil in the middle, and he used to make you'd put it was a very simple design, but it worked very well. And it was the one that caught that. And then we were fucking at lake. And I used to use it now and again. And every time I used it, I would catch fish. And this time I didn't tie it tight enough. And I casted it. And I remember it just flew off. And I would have had to jump in the water to get it. And I didn't. If I was a little bit older, I would have. But yeah, that was one of the last times we were up there. Because we used to go up to Bolby's parents' house. But he always made fly fishing, made his own lures and stuff. Do you get into that? Or, I mean, I'm sure you did because this is what this all built into. But when did you start actually getting that serious into it where you were making your own stuff?
So we did the plastic baits probably 2 months ago. I got into it. I just started watching this guy Chris Jones, World's Worst Fishing Show on YouTube.
That's a great name.
See, that's a good name too.
Absolutely awesome.
You have zero standards now.
Yeah, I have a fishing show. It's called I Can't Fish.
Yeah.
That would be all right, watch that.
He's legit. The stuff that he's making is absolutely crazy. I DM him sometimes to get some pointers and ask some questions. He gets back to me.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's what's cool about social media is some people don't realize that you can there are people that if you reach out to them and they have a massive following, they make it a point to talk to as many fans and as people as they can, and that's what makes your audience interactive.
Yep. And that made me feel awesome.
Yeah. There's not a better feeling when you see red and then the bubbles coming up, and I'm like, oh my god, this guy's talking to me. Like when I reached out to Jade Struck, she's like, hey, I'd love to do your podcast. I was like, what the fuck? I texted him. I'm like, what the? She's doing the show. It's just people. It's just people with an Instagram like you and me.
So when I first started this, I sent out probably 50 to 100 DMs. People I was influenced by, followed for years, this and that. Dude named Carl Higbee, if you know him. He ran for House of Representatives in Connecticut. He ended up losing, but he's on Newsmax. He's an anchor.
Yep.
Former Navy SEAL. Andrew Arabito from Half Face Blades. That knife company.
Yeah, I follow him.
Dude, crazy stuff.
Yeah.
He got back to me. I sent them both hats. They're awesome dudes. But they don't have to do shit like that. You know what I mean?
Nope.
And that's what's cool.
Yeah.
Making me feel essentially like a big shot. Meanwhile, I'm like the leaf that the ant's taking back to the colony.
Yeah, but dude, all it takes is one of those dudes to wear any of your stuff or use any of your stuff and just say your name and be like, yo, check us out. Thanks for that. And then people are like, what is that? Because listen, I'm a sucker for that. I'll watch a video and they're like, hey man, I'm using this, check this out, and I'll immediately go to all those places.
100%.
I have to.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, what also is cool is that they're treating you like, because they were in a position when they started in the beginning. Sure. So, I mean, for someone to talk to you, and remember how it was when they started, that's cool that they actually give a shit about that. And that's why they're,
real
they're
down to earth.
And that's why they're popular and they have interactive bases, and it's why their fans buy shit because they make you feel like normal people.
Absolutely. Yeah, he got me hooked up with Mammoth Nation as well, if you ever heard of that. It's almost like a conservative Amazon. So it's just a list of companies that you get discounts to and stuff. It's real cool. But we went live today with them, so that's pretty neat.
So now that's going to be people can buy your stuff online?
Yeah, so we had a website for a while, but if you're a Mammoth Nation member, you'll get 12% off anything on the site.
Yeah.
So it's kind of neat.
Well, let's peel it back to where you kind of looked at this hobby and you're, doing all this fishing and hunting growing up. When was it that you kind of took steps forward to being like, hey, I think I want to turn this into a business instead of a hobby and start following a passion towards it? Because just from talking to you, the excitement of how you are with it and how early it is in the stages and the passion that you're driving it through, and it's really cool to see how much you actually give a shit about what you're doing. But when did that all kind of come to that you were even going to start doing this?
So I think in all reality, it's always been a retirement plan for me. And my wife worked at Martin Guitar for years. My mom still works there. Grandparents were there. So she left after our second kid was born. He's about 8 months. And when she left, she stayed home with the kids. So just do some extra financial stability type. I remember Mike years ago had that live bait vending machine. So we would go there 4 or 5 in the morning before hitting the creeks, get a dozen minnows.
Genius, because he would have that there, and if you wanted to go fishing before he opened, you have the ability to get the bait.
Or catfishing.
Yeah.
Catfishing is, midnight, 1 in the morning. So So that's obviously financial aspects. We didn't have enough for a brick and mortar nor the time with my full-time job. So I was like, hey, let's do a live bait vending machine. So I contacted, his name is Gary. He actually invented it. He's from PA. He likes right by Lancaster. Yeah. Reached out to him. He put everything in motion for me. We ended up getting it.
What are the steps of doing that? Because that's not like a normal thing you would get into, and it's just interesting that somebody would even invent. Because it was a specific vending machine set up for holding bait.
Yeah, different sizes and everything. So the bottoms, like the way I have it set up is
it a custom build out?
Yeah.
Walk us through the steps of like kind of how that went through.
So he builds everything set to go for the same setup for everybody that he sells it to. So bottom is fat heads. My middle one for the vending machine, I have leeches. I'm like one of the only places around that has leeches. It's pretty cool.
So this is interesting now. So do you get to pick the bait? Like he says like, hey, this is the bait that you can offer in there?
Yeah, so it's tough because like right now we're using bags to put in there. So I'm going like literally every day, sometimes twice a day to check on these bags because the one thing I don't want, somebody's going there to get bait, they open the bag and there's 4 dead minnows. It's the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
You
give a shit, so it's probably in the back of your fucking head.
Yeah. It bothers me.
The minnows.
So we set that up. We went up to BC Baits in Lehighton, which is like the biggest wholesaler in Pennsylvania. We came home, stocked it up, and we had to go to Staples for something. We're at the stop. So my vending machine is at Family and Friends Restaurant in Bushkill Township.
That's the best location ever.
Yeah.
It is the best. When you told me that, I was like, man, that's genius to put it there.
Yeah, perfect. And the owner's awesome. I went to her, and she was all about it. She was 100% supportive.
Well, their clientele there is so... I mean, what's crazy is that restaurant, and I would love to interview her because I believe I've talked to her a couple times going up there, and I believe that's such a hidden gem in this area because of even the style of cooking they still do is like... it's like how my grandmother used to cook with like Crisco. Like it's very and the price is fantastic. But when that was Lieberman's way back in the day, and we went to high school with them, that was such a gold mine, hunting, fishing. Like when hunting season started, like all you saw was like pickup trucks with cabs and orange all day and night. And that place used to be, and it still is, but I mean back in the day that was like a happening roadside diner. Like they were killing it there.
Yeah, they're packed every day.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And then for that to turn into Family and Friends, and then it just kept going that way. It was kind of like, a changing of the guards, but it wasn't a changing of the restaurant because it's very similar to what they did before. But that place is awesome for breakfast.
Oh, yeah.
I've never had anything there but breakfast. I've always been intrigued to go back, but I only think of that place for breakfast.
So I saw you post the breakfast the other day. Did you make that, or did you?
Which one? Oh no, I made that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I love making breakfast. It's my favorite thing to do. And I should have went up there because I had to stay at my parents' house for the week. They got a pool and shit, so I just stayed up there. And I should have went there because it's so close to their house because they're only like 5 minutes away. And my brother was one of the cooks at Lieberman's way back in the day. So that's when you said that, like that restaurant has like always been a part of my life.
And that lot I was telling you about right next to it that I was trying to get into, it's sold.
I wonder what they're going to do there.
Garages. I don't know what type, if it's going to be an auto store. I have no idea.
That sucks because that would have been a home run. That used to be an old, I forget the name of it, but that was like a general store where my mom would go and get milk and shit because Gastone's wasn't around, and like you would have to drive to Laneco or like out further. Yeah, because it used to be Laneco and Wingap. Right. But I mean,
Food Lane.
Yeah, gas stations. But gas stations didn't have milk. Gas stations didn't have, it wasn't how it is now where you can go over to the fucking, I can go down to 7-Eleven and get whatever I want.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Family and Friends, that was a power move. That was awesome.
Yeah.
So you guys were at Staples?
Yeah, so we came out of the driveway, went down to the road. Right there's Family and Friends, so we're like, oh, let's check it out. Look left, there's a lady at the vending machine. I'm like, holy shit.
Ah, it's so cool. That's like the first time I saw someone wearing one of my T-shirts.
Yeah.
You're like, ah!
Yeah, so we drove in, and she was like hitting it. I'm like, oh my God.
Fuck.
So, it's like, oh, it doesn't work now? What?
So you drive in, and she's probably mid-30s, had the vest on already. She had like 4 little kids in the minivan, about to go take a picture. I'm like, this is awesome. So I'm like, hey, question for you. I'm like, we on the vending machine, everything good? She's like, oh yeah, the bag didn't come out at first, but everything. I'm like, do you mind opening the bag? Just check the minnows for me. I'm like, make sure everything's good.
Oh, you're probably like nervous.
Dude, my heart is like. So she opened them. Everything was good. So
yeah, it's like sending food out where you're like, I hope that they wanted it medium rare, and you're like, ugh.
Such a good feeling. But it's cool, man. It's cool. We like it.
So you got the vending machine set up. How's that been going so far?
Good. We're pretty steady with it. We're putting fatheads in all the time, little minnows, creek minnows.
Yeah.
Leeches are selling, obviously, because you can't really get them anywhere else. We got some tackle in there, and I just started doing the bait, plastic bait, so I'm going to start putting that in there soon.
Do they promote that it's in there, like in the restaurant or anything? Or like, where is it exactly? Like right out by where the soft ice cream area is?
Correct, yeah.
Yeah.
Right on the
that
corner
butcher's
there.
back there, too, though.
Yeah, Mittman's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude.
It's a killer location. I mean, it's the perfect setup. It's a perfect setup for getting into all that.
Yeah, and that pond I was telling you about, off of 33 Alberts Pond, I mean, it's perfect for people there. I would love to set it up there.
What's the pay one back behind where my parents are over by Point Phillips and shit? What's the one with that you got to pay to fish?
Evergreen Lake?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, but there's still people going there as well, and it's just that's a great location as far as 512, and you got the highway right there.
Yep. Yeah, it's a good spot.
When you started, so now are you putting? Is that just live bait you have in there, or are you doing stuff like this as well?
So we have live bait. We have a bunch of Z-Man products. They're pretty well known throughout the fishing industry, but I just started doing stuff like this here.
Yeah, you can hold them up. The camera's this way if you want.
Right there?
Yeah. And you are making these, correct?
Yeah, from scratch. So
that's crazy.
It is. It's crazy.
How did you get into doing that?
Watching that dude, Chris Jones. I watched one video and I was hooked. I'm like, we could definitely do this.
Yeah.
And it's freaking cool. So why wouldn't I do it?
Yeah.
It's a cool hobby because my wife helps me. My wife is completely, like, I was nervous starting out because obviously money and everything.
Yeah.
But she's been perfect throughout the whole thing. She's like,
it's important to have somebody
Taylor,
backing you behind that.
This is a great idea. I love it. You're doing great. Da, 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 da. So it makes me feel good. But
I wish I had that. hit the bricks, Axe. Hit the bricks.
Yeah, I don't get any of that stuff. Sweetie, I really need to go buy more ammo, and then I hear a lot of yelling, and then I walk out of the room.
No,
but that's okay.
Yeah. That's the one thing I'll get yelled at for. But
yeah. At least you don't hear, oh, that's not a real job. I'm sorry.
So right now, like I said, I was going to bring the one mold in. That's a 4.1 inch bait minnow. But right now we have the Senko worms. So this is the Liberty Tree color. We got a minnow mold, and then I think I brought one crawl. Yeah.
How's the process of that work?
So it's pretty crazy. It's called plastisol. That's what they all use. So it comes in like a gallon container, right? Throw that in the microwave for like 3 minutes. It has to change to almost like a liquid. It comes into like a jello, then it goes to a liquid. I use dead on plastics because Chris Jones. I try to imitate this guy.
Yeah.
And Courtney laughs at me. She's like, "You're gonna end up marrying."
If it works, why wouldn't you?
Yeah. Put that in the microwave, make it a liquid, and then the mold itself, obviously, is exactly like this. Clamp that together.
Do you purchase the molds, or does that come with the?
No, you got to purchase them.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's separate. So purchase the mold, get the injector itself. So it's almost like a meat. A meat injector. Right?
Yeah. When you're like putting garlic and shit in.
Yeah. Essentially.
A baster.
No,
Exactly.
they're called it's when you want to marinate meat and stuff. When you shoot it in,
To inside.
Yeah, damn it.
Okay.
It has a name. We all know. I forget what the hell it's called.
You know what I'm saying. So, so that's pure liquid. So I'm shooting that up into the injector.
So how long does it stay liquid? Is it pretty quick?
Yeah. So
that's what you got to just go.
So that's what's tough because like these guys who are doing this for a long time and have a long following, they'll have, freaking 50 molds lined up with a big ass clamp, you know what I mean? And they're meanwhile, I have 3 molds.
Yeah. Hey,
so
it doesn't matter.
I'm shooting one, I have to put the liquid back in, and then I have to let that chill so it's good to go and let it form, and then by the time that's formed, this is hard again. Yeah. So I got to throw everything back in the microwave, heat it up again, the whole 9, stir it up. So it's a process.
Yeah.
It's cool though.
It's interesting. I just think it's awesome that you are making your own fishing lures. Yeah. It's cool.
Yeah, what's even better is we went up to Shahola Reservoir up near like Promised Land this past weekend and caught some fish on them. So
yeah, it's got to be a really
like
fun,
the coolest feeling ever.
Yeah, because you're like, it works.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
what's it like, man? I mean, I know you're very new into this and stepping into it, but like, I remember when I started everything when I was 28, and it's just, I can see the drive inside you, and like, what a crazy moment to make your own fishing lure. Your family's behind you, you're doing all this stuff, then you use it, and then you catch a fish, and then I'm sure your confidence is like through the roof because you're like, all right, cool, like this isn't just shit that's not working, like I'm making a quality product that I can catch fish with.
Yeah, I mean, it's neat, dude. I don't want to go the whole thing, it's a dream come true type thing, but I mean, it's cool. I'm loving it. It's something that I can do with my entire family. I mean, it's working out. It's really, at this point, we're so new, it's just getting the word out there. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's why I appreciate you having me on. And
no, I think it's got to be like, what's it feel like to find that lane? Like I've always struggled to do creative things, and I've always just kind of had a job, and I was never really enjoying my life until I did this like full time. But I mean, when you have that lane that you can go over in, and it's like your stress and all that, and like everything just kind of falls away, and you're just focused on this one thing, like it's got to feel cool to kind of just be doing, like, I don't know, like I just relate to the story of seeing the lady with, the minnows and all that, and you having to check on your thing. Like it's kind of like you have this baby growing, and that, like, and then if you time it correctly to when you retire, it's like this second career that you can live out your dream of what you want to do with your life.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm fortunate. I'm loving it. There's guys at work. There's family members who are sharing stuff. They're wearing stuff. Like, I'll come into work.
That's how it starts, man.
Yeah, wearing the shirt. Like, oh man, I appreciate that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, guys are loving it, and
that's very important. When you support a small business or a growing business like that, because in the beginning you don't have a lot of confidence and you don't know what you're doing, and it's fucking crazy. And if you don't have people supporting you, and you don't have people buying stuff and being like, hey man, like I'll fuck with your stuff, or like, like I told my friend, I'm like, hey, this guy's coming on fishing, and I sent him the pictures, and he's like, awesome, I used something very similar. And then now he would start buying your stuff, and then it's like, if you don't have that grassroots growing in the beginning, it's hard for somebody to continue doing it. You know what I mean? Like if people weren't buying your shit, and like you went up there and all the things were dead in the box, like it's very hard to continue forward with a passion project. And then you start getting doubts, and you're like, fuck it, I'll just stay at my job, and I'll go back to my hobby. But what's awesome with you and having the stories, and like every time you came down here, it's like you got like 9 different directions you're going. And I relate to that, because you're not going to stop. You're like, all right, I want to do brick and mortar, and I'm talking to Mike, and I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and we got this. It's like you don't have one angle, you have fucking 5, which is very important in the beginning, because if one of those angles shuts down, you can just switch, and then it keeps growing.
Yeah, and it is stressful. I mean,
it's a nightmare. I remember the beginning calling him, be like, what the fuck do I do?
Yeah. I'm not great because I'm old. I'll just say that.
Because like he ran his own business with the bail bond stuff, and it's like I call my friends who run businesses, and then that's the other cool thing that I think you're probably going to start learning, or you're already doing, is you start working with people who are also running businesses, and then you start realizing that all these things that you're freaking out about are just that's your everyday stress now.
Yeah.
That's the stuff that's taken away when you work for somebody else, because it's on somebody else's higher up shoulder.
Yep, and just networking with people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I met a bunch of people doing it. I did and just local stuff. I like everything local. I love it. So, like I said, born and raised in Nazareth, did the Nazareth Farmers Market last weekend.
I saw you were up there.
Yeah, it went well. It was pretty cool.
Was that the first time you were like setting up a pop-up area and stuff, and like a tent? And
yes. And
walk us through that, because I know the first time you do that, I remember doing conventions,
and he would come to them, and I'd just be like
pacing and being like, I have boxes of t-shirts.
Yeah.
But you'll be fine. Like, enough people in this town and enough other people, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
You will. You'll be fine.
How was setting up there?
It was good. The thing that kills me, man. Did you know the Instagram account got taken down?
No. Oh, I saw you posted about it.
Brutal. Didn't give me a reason, no nothing. It's not like we had thousands of followers at the time, but
it doesn't matter. You're still growing.
Yeah.
It's a headache you don't need to be dealing with.
And you try and call them. You can't talk to anybody. Nope. Help center. Like the question and answer portion. This doesn't help me whatsoever.
No.
So I had to redo that. My business cards were already made with that Instagram on it. And the banner that I took up to the farmer's market, that was already printed.
Did you get it back yet?
Oh, yeah. We used it for the market.
No, the account.
No, permanently disabled.
What the fuck?
Permanently disabled.
Well, see, my friend...
what did you put on there? Like
plastic bait.
Boy, you offended someone.
Yeah, I have no idea. No idea.
Yeah, and we have a stalker for the show, Kelly, and she does a TikTok, and she gets hers taken down, but I mean, she's got a lot to lose. I mean, she's building everything ready to leave her, eventually will leave her job to do this, but she was at 200,000 followers on TikTok, and they'll just take it down, and then she'll call me upset because you're building a business off of your social media.
It's money.
And then it's just people reporting things and just, stupid shit like that. And then she has to report it and whatnot. And I'll talk to her. Maybe she can help you out. But she kind of knows how to get accounts back. And then she's gotten hers back 3 times now. She's been completely banned and then got it back.
So this new one that I did, it's...
So what'd you have to change it to?
So it's Fisher_BC. I changed it to Fisher_Bait Company. The only
Bushkill Crew. Shout out.
No, it's not.
Yeah, bro. That was our gang growing up. The Bushkill Crew.
No, it's...
It's just because it die? Is that what...
People were saying that.
It's got to be. I'm telling you, they'll find any...
That's bullshit.
I got banned, they said a 30-day ban for Facebook. And it was literally that picture of like all these little cartoon characters that says like anxiety, stress, anger, all this stuff. And they're all like pointing at a guy. And it's just a guy standing there. And then the next one is a guy's hugging that guy. And on his back, it says shooting range. So it's like, oh, it makes you feel better to go there. I put that up there and they banned me for hate speech. And I go, what? It's the complete opposite of hate speech. So that I like tried to say like, I'm going to appeal this because I'm going to be a dick. Nope, there's nowhere you can appeal it. So I had to write a private message. I screen capped the whole thing or, did the whole thing and said, hey, I don't understand how this is hate speech at all. It's actually not hate speech. It's anti-hate speech. It's talking about going against things that are bad.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I was like, this isn't going to work.
Yeah.
And it was not even lying.
Talking to a wall.
No, 10 minutes later. We've changed your thing to a 24-hour ban. And I go, all right. So I went from 30 to 24.
You might be able to get it back.
So I go 24, and then right before the 24-hour thing was over, I'm sorry, you've been flagged on another thing that you had. And it was Jerry Jones grabbing his crotch. And it's like, it goes against our thing. And I go, it doesn't. Like, there's no nudity. So I appeal that shit, too.
I have, thank God, have not had any problems.
Oh, once they find it, they just look.
My problems come with, back in the day, they didn't have music, like licensed music. Because now you can add music to everything. Yeah. But back in the day, I used to have to add it into the video, and then it would get flagged, and then it'd be like, you can't use this, and whatever. But that sucks that got taken down.
Well, the new one is a business account.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that would make some type of a difference.
It could.
Because the other one I couldn't even review, so.
That sucks.
It is what it is.
Yeah. Well, whatever. At least you weren't at, like these guys like that Talon Sai who's got, a fuck ton of followers, and his business is social media.
Yeah.
And they take down his YouTube.
The real kick in the nuts is that he went to the actual like YouTube place, met with those people. They brought him on as an influencer and said like, we want people like you that go and get people and do this and do that. He's been following rules forever, and then one day it was just like 200,000 fucking boom, done. You're demonetized. And he was like, well, what did I do? So he said, I went back on my account, and he goes, I erased like 300 some videos, like anything I thought maybe would be bad. And he's like, half my stuff's gone. All my people are gone. And he goes, I had to restart everything all over again. Yeah. Now he's been doing it for 3 years. And magically they just one day did it again. And it's like, you went against community guidelines. And he goes, no one will tell me what I did.
It's criminal.
Just because you're making money and they just,
I don't know how they get away with it.
But the best is they can demonetize you, but they can make money. Sure. So they can put ads on your stuff.
There's a lot of stuff where my buddy follows Jer follows, I forget the guy's name, but he's a pipe smoker, and he has a really good channel if you get into pipes, and he like shows you how to pack the pipes and all this stuff, and he never wanted to monetize the channel, and he has like 30,000 subscribers. You
can pick it that way, right?
Yeah, he gets enough
advertising for regular
he gets
stuff.
enough numbers that, because I think you have to have 1,000 subscribers to start being able to actually monetize. But back in the day, you could actually just monetize, and there's probably people fucking around with the numbers doing your George Wacker crap. And
meaning like you click on it and you can go shop and
so like,
or you have like a guy like George Wacker who just goes and he pays money, and George Wacker pays money to have people look like they're going to his website, and then he charges advertisers more money because he supposedly has a bunch of hits to his website.
So like back in the day on YouTube, like you would be able to just monetize at any point. So then if you were getting views, and then when people started actually making money, and they started having to cut checks, they were like, hey, we're not cutting checks until you have 1,000 subscribers. So like that's a lot harder to get to than somebody who's actually catching views and has no subscribers, but they still get traffic to a video.
Yeah.
So like if you don't have 1,000 subscribers and something would go viral, like you don't get any money off of it.
Yeah, if you have like one pop that you get, say 1 million people, you get nothing. But unless you were one of those people that have enough people that it's constantly being monetized, which is kind of like they're going to sell the shit out of it, and you don't make shit. But then you look at people like Demolition Ranch. I don't know if you watch that. So that dude has Demolition Ranch, has Off the Ranch, has something. Just Demolition Ranch, they figured it out that he makes like $60,000 a month just doing YouTube videos of shooting on its backyard ranch and doing stuff, and like people like that.
Mutton Chop Piper.
Cletus McFarland makes $40,000.
Mutton Chop Piper. So he has got mutton chops and he's a pipe guy, and he puts all this content out.
It's a good combination.
Yeah. So he just started his channel over again. A bunch of stuff went on in his life, and then he said, I'm going to monetize now. And he's like, and to ask why, because he just thought he shouldn't monetize off of just helping people learn how to like smoke a pipe.
Yeah.
But he was like, I chose not to monetize, but they're running ads on my videos anyway. So like because like he did it so that's what it was. He did it so you didn't have to watch ads. So if you're not monetizing, what they were pitching to him was that there was going to be no commercials or ads on his content. They're still doing that. So he's like, if they're going to run ads, there's no point in me not monetizing because you're going to see commercials anyways. Yeah. And then he started monetizing off of it. But the McFarland stuff and that guy.
He makes, Cletus McFarland, he makes like $45,000 every month. Just racing, doing stuff. Such a good show. But those guys, like, best is like, dude, they just make tons of, I mean, and bear in mind, those days are over. Like, those guys have been there forever. But it's like, the fact that like Demo Ranch is like, hey, he just hit 10 million followers. So in his 10 million followers, he said he would show every one of his guns. So it was just lines of guns rolling down a table, and it was just a bunch of his friends messing around. It's like, you have 10 million followers. Yeah, he's making like almost $60,000 a month just from doing videos. That's all he does. So he bought a mansion and started a show. Is
that the guy who bought the racetrack?
No, that's Demo. No, that's Cletus. Cletus bought a racetrack.
Really?
Yeah.
Who the hell's going to buy Nazareth Speedway?
If Jandal bought it, it's going to turn into like a dumb
warehouse place.
No, it's going to. What I heard it's going to be is like condos, and then it's like one of those, areas where like they have their own supermarket, they have their own little things built in their little town.
You know what they probably won't do? Add more roads. They'll just keep adding more people, just no more roads. So there's no traffic or anything. It's fine.
That was great back in the day.
Oh my God.
I just remember a vivid memory of Nazareth Speedway was I was stuck in traffic and had to piss.
Oh yeah, because only on race days. On race days.
I was in the back of Tom Johnson's Beretta, and I believe like we were drinking beers, and we just got coming back. Allegedly, we were drinking beers, and we were coming
underage,
back.
Allegedly.
We were definitely underage in a field. It's the shit you do, and then we're like, oh, let's go back into town, and then you're caught in fucking race traffic, and I just remember being like it was at a point where I was like, yo, I'm just gonna get out. I'm fucking pissed.
It is. You
gotta do what you gotta do.
You know, it is.
Those
it is
situations
amazing.
are the worst.
It's amazing on how quick nature takes back. So when that place shut down and they started removing the things, it was like you couldn't tell there was anything.
I went over there with
Jandrew
Andrew because he had a key because he used to do landscaping through there, and he's like, "You want to go over and check it out?" It was cool to walk through. It looked like something out of what's the Will Smith movie?
Yeah, I Am Legend.
Yeah, it was like something like that.
So
where it was
fast.
Like,
That's a good comparison.
It was it was all overgrown, and then they went in and they had to like wreck the track so like kids or whoever wouldn't go back there and race and shit.
Yeah, they sold all the Penske owned it, so he got rid of all the seating and everything and the
I think they brought it to Michigan.
Yeah,
I think something like that.
Yeah, I mean I don't know. We'll see what they do with it. What social media platforms are you using to push this besides Instagram?
Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah,
Just those
you have like a Facebook group and everything, or not group, but like you have your Facebook page.
Yeah. We have two: Droptine Outdoors and then the Fisher Dye Bait Company.
Yeah.
So doing both.
So Droptine, or was it Droptine?
Droptine.
That's like the major brand, and then you have your bait company coming through, so it's almost two things.
Yeah. So we got the Droptine Outdoors. That's LLC, and then we're registered under Fisher Dye Bait Company. So like a daughter, son company, whatever you want to call it.
What's it been like? How's everything been receiving over the last since you started doing the bait and everything? Now, where do you sell this? Do you sell this online, or
we sell these
pushing
online.
it at Mike's, or are you getting it out there in stores?
So I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go talk to him, see if we can put it on shelves. Not only him, a whole bunch of bait shops around the valley. Went to Tractor Supply. Probably gonna do almost like a farmer's market type setup because you can't do anything inside. So probably go there like on a Sunday or something, set up.
Do they let you do that?
I asked the manager. He said, "Yeah,
that's cool.
So, yeah,
that's another killer
getting in the
spot,
stores
too.
like that. They have parent companies and they have their own set of stuff you have to go through, and it's a pain in the ass.
But cool nonetheless.
But I dig the sticker though.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
No, everything's cool with it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I do.
Yeah. Wife drew the worm, and then I had that idea of because I have the tattoo for the joiner dye.
Yeah.
So the 8 most popular creeks in the valley, I thought it was pretty neat.
No, I like everything you're doing with it. It's exciting to see you. Like when I said I saw you up at the farmers market, and then, when you got the tackle thing set up over there. You plan on doing more machines? Is that one moving enough where you want to do another one, or?
I mean, it's doing good, but I want to make my money back first.
Yeah.
And buy a whole bunch of more molds because, like I said, this is fun and it's good quality, but it's time consuming.
Yeah.
So if I get those more molds and can inject,
so you can do
rather than making 8 worms at a time, I'll be making 50.
It's like when we do the bagels. It's like when we can only do. I believe it's 24 per a home thing. We can't go past that. And we've been making so many like that. Her mixer is on its last leg. Now, if we step up and get a commercial mixer, now you're talking about being able to do 100.
But you can do a lot.
But you can do 100 to 500 probably in one whole thing.
And you'll make your money back easy with that.
Yeah. And you need to do that if you want to grow. You can't just keep doing you're never gonna if that starts picking up, you're never gonna have the time to keep up with it because you're gonna have to keep doing such a small amount.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're going to need to grow.
And these are selling. I'm thinking these will take off eventually. The craziest thing, like right now, they're in the clear bag. We did where's the camera right there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we did like the little
speckles.
What the hell would you call it? No, the labels.
Yeah. Oh, I was like, I know because I can see like the little speckles from the distance.
Yeah. So the labels, but we want to get the whole bag made. You know what I mean? So you go to a bait shop and you get the name brand Z-Man, Gary Yamamoto and stuff. They're not a clear bag, obviously.
It's all about flash and what brings them in. Yeah. It's a whole study on that and what people see when they come in. Yeah. I mean, we did when we talked to this guy. He had a guy come and do it
next week.
He had a guy come on and say, "What's the best way that when we walk into a place like a gun store?
Yeah,
what can you see like ammo wise?" And his stuff is great. Whoever designed that. You walk in, you can pick his shit out off the wall like nothing.
Yeah, I mean,
a lot of those all mold together.
He had such crazy stories where like he went to like Cabela's with his wife, and then he like put their box on
and like walked by it to see what it looks like.
Just like okay, and
there's a lot.
I don't even think it was like telling her what they were doing, but he was like, what's drawing your eye to this? Where is this? Where would the label be? And like he's really put like a fuck ton into like what somebody would want to grab that. But
I can tell you if any store that I'm in, I can pick his ammo out right away.
Yep.
because that's what you got. You got to do something.
Yeah. So our logo's awesome, I think. So put that right on there. Some product description. I think we'll do good with it.
How do you picture it? Just like kind of like the logos over the whole bag?
Probably top left.
Yeah.
Some product description on there. Who knows?
Are you looking into doing that now, or is it just kind of like something you have down the road, or are you in the works of it?
We're looking into it now, but it's like a lot of it's overseas.
Yeah.
So I got in touch with one company out of New York. Hopefully going to go with them, but I mean, I hate buying overseas stuff, but if it's $500 cheaper,
you almost have to with that stuff. A friend of mine,
especially starting out,
and if you have some hiccups with that, I have somebody that handles doing stuff like this. They're doing Zach's starting Nogi Laundry, and he's getting his own like bags and boxes, and it's like kind of like that whole thing. I have a friend who started a business doing that, but it's very interesting to see how that works.
It's a whole separate thing.
Yeah, but that's how everything gets done, because it's like you almost have to fill a shipping container, and then to get it over. But that's how you have to make money to do that.
And minimum quantity. It was like something absurd. It was like 25,000 bags.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But I'll give you the quote. If your guy can beat Mr. Cho's quote.
Yeah. I mean, well, the other thing.
I bet he could be Mr. Cho's quote.
I looked into doing apparel and stuff overseas, and it's very difficult to do because you don't know what the quality is going to be. You don't know anything. You're kind of taking a big risk. But the reward is that you're going to make money because you're getting it in bulk. But that's how everyone does everything.
Yeah.
It's not. Anyone who tries to do apparel with me and they were like, I want to do it American made, I'm like, you are going to pay out the ass. And they're like, I don't care. And then I give them the quote, and then I show them the other quote, and 90% of the time they go with the cheaper one, just because that's how you make money.
I wouldn't. Like you guys.
Now, I mean, sometimes you end up like, I'm like, you're going to lose money.
There was a company in Jersey that was doing hats, like baseball caps and stuff, and they still do it, and it's all American made, and they still like try to compete against them. And
I
guess they were doing great. They were doing really well, but it's hard to.
It's tough.
It's hard to. You just got to find different ways. So essentially, isn't it like it's screen? You can do screen printing, or you can do digital printing. You just got to find the right markup people that'll do it. And that are
Yeah.
There's got to be somebody here.
The apparel wise, so we have the shirts and the hats, but this is like our biggest seller.
Yeah.
And I just
the hats.
The camo ones. And I just tried to order a few more the other day to get some orders filled, and back ordered till September. Got that email.
Yeah.
Brutal.
It sucks.
Brutal.
Yeah.
I can help you out with different brands for camo and stuff too. Richardson's, I've done hats
That's what
on.
This is.
Yeah. And I was looking through their stuff, and it's crazy seeing what's affected by the shutdown. And I've never had any problems with apparel, and we've always been able to get a ton of different things. And now is the first time where they're like, no, you can't.
Well, because the factories, right?
Yeah.
They're making the actual threads, not the shirt themselves. It's the threading.
Well, it's the hats. Richardson's. I'm trying to get hats made for Luke, and they're out of almost everything.
But I'm telling you, I think it's the actual threading itself, not the hat. It's the thread to make the hat is the problem. That's the holdup.
And that's the entire fishing industry, because I'm having a tough time getting tackle. Like I'm on email waiting list for like probably 35 items to stock the vending machine.
Yeah.
And Mike's Bait Shop's having that issue. Every tackle shop around. Because I want to say the statistic is something insane, like 600% increase in fishing licenses.
I blame the president. Just the president. Saying, I'm saying that.
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah.
No, it's a lot of things.
All the absurdity the last 2 years
has been just
the one thing that occurred is the fishing industry took off. That is the one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? And you think about it, the pandemic thing was a perfect time for fishing because you have to be away from someone.
Exactly.
They wanted you to go outside in fresh air. Like that's the perfect time.
Well, I think a lot of people, their lives stopped, and then you get back into things that, like how I was saying, it's like I love fishing. I just don't have time for it. And I think it was a time when everything shut down and people kind of looked at their lives. And I think a lot of people are starting to enjoy their lives a little bit more, which is terrible now because it's like the price of everything is fucking through the roof. And like, it's kind of like people are trying to get back to the roots of like enjoying life. And then you can't even fucking go do anything. And then when you're trying to run a small business, that's fucked up. No one's working anymore. Like it sucks. Cause it's like, there's a turn of people wanting their lives back and wanting freedom and like finding these things that our country was founded on. But then the actual thing holding all of us is completely fucked. So then it's
I just want to go back to shooting. 300 suppressed blackout out of an AR fucking
But
pistol.
I remember when
doesn't cost $250 a round.
Yeah. When I went first one shooting with you, you weren't even concerned with you
were
like, it was like, yo, I got ammo for you.
There's
and I'm
a
like,
bag.
You sure?
Just take it out of there. Now it's like, I'm going to go and I shoot the 300 and it's just like, wow, look how awesome that is. I'll shoot like 5 rounds. Like, well, that was fun.
That's great.
Sucks.
So when the hell was it? Monday I got zoned for Bushkill Township for FFL.
Fuck
cool,
yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah. So, because I figured that's under Droptine Outdoors, obviously, but I figured you're in Bushkill Township, Plainfield area, Nazareth. Where are you going to go? You're going to go to Dunkelberger's.
Yep.
You're going to go all the way out to Cabela's, and you're going to pay a fortune. Or you're going to go to Heritage in Easton. You know what I mean? There's nobody around.
No.
So, and that was part of the whole storefront idea.
Yeah.
But finances.
Well, I mean, I have a friend who's like doing a coffee shop, and like I try and give. I mean, I've just been trying to do so many different things over the years, and what I say to everybody is like, there's a lot of moving parts. So like, you can work on a ton of things while you're still looking for brick and mortar. Mm-hmm. Like we're talking about moving and doing all this stuff, and
a long time from now.
But like, I don't even know if I want to move there. Like if I move up there, I got to be involved with the town. Like it's a huge responsibility on if I go in there, that's my commitment to actually turning this town into something besides it's fucked up shit that I complain about all the time.
Yeah.
But like on the journey to do that, I'm doing a ton of things outside of that. So I might get to that point, but at the same time, I'm working on a mobile podcast van. I'm doing all this stuff. So my advice to you is keep doing everything you're doing and keep growing, and you're doing everything you should do. You're covering that license that you just talked about. You're getting an awesome product. You're talking about building your product more. So when the time comes and you actually get your brick and mortar, you will be over prepared, and then you can just go in and just fill the shelves. You already know what you're doing. You have your licensing. Now you can get into all these different things. So it's as much as you want the brick and mortar right now, just keep building everything around it. You know, work on the apparel, work on all this stuff. And that's kind of like, you know,
and that was one of the big things of pushing the apparel, was just getting that name out
there.
The logo.
It's advertising.
Of course,
you're building a brand, and then by the time, like, say you would take over a bait shop or get into a new shop, it's like you're already a thing in the community.
Oh, I've heard of that already.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you're like you're doing everything correct. And I know that the end game from talking to you is like the vision of having the spot and having people be able to do bow and archery and get kids back involved and sell your stuff. And I think when you do that, because I believe you will, because I don't think you're the type of person that's going to stop, like you're going to fucking crush it. But like in the meantime, all the stuff you're doing, it's awesome. You know, you're doing awesome with the apparel and everything else. And I'm sure no one's told you what to do. You're just figuring this shit out, and it's not fucking easy. Yeah. This is the shit where people run into headaches and then they just don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's cool that you're
passionate about it. So
I was just going to say, you're completely driven by it. Where do you see this thing going in, like, for the summer? Like, just summer goals of what you want to do.
Summer goals? I want to get the bags done. I want to sell a bunch of plastic bait. I'm hoping that takes off. I want the FFL license, hopefully we get that. That takes a while, you know that.
Yeah, I'm sure that's going to be a long
So we were up into the point of the inspection aspect with the ATF, and then there's like a timeline with it, and it ran out before the hearing. So I had to withdraw the application, went to the hearing, that got approved unanimously, thank God, and then got to reapply. So hopefully they pick it up where they left off, and it'll be 3-4 month process.
They take their time.
Yeah.
A year for suppressor, fuckers.
Well, what was it, Mike from Whitehall?
3.5 months for
Mike from Whitehall,
because I didn't want to name it
that.
what everyone else names it. Yeah. He would be a good guy to talk to.
Who's that?
The dude, the guy, Mike from Whitehawk Gunsmithing. He's up in Stroudsburg. We had him on a show. Yeah, I'll send it. I'll give you every information from him. Good dude. No, he's been through all that stuff. He knows.
It's a process, man. It takes time.
Well, he was saying how they came to his house. Was it a 4-hour interview?
Yeah. Well, he's different though because he's doing manufacturing, so he's building guns. So that's a different level, as opposed to just a FFL doing transfers and doing and selling. But no, he was doing the actual manufacturing thing, and that's like they get really into it because they'll just come at random times and just say, "We need this," and if you don't have it, you're in deep shit.
Yeah.
So it's not like, well, I don't know, we'll find it. Nope, it's gonna be right now. So, but he's the kind of dude that military dude. He's just straight. He has everything perfectly in line and in order, and he has every steps, and he knows exactly where he's going before they know what to say. He's a good dude. He's a good guy.
Cool.
And he's gonna build your brother a gun.
Is Roger?
Yes.
I talked to Roger a little bit.
So excited. I was like, it's the best time of your life. You don't understand. It's gonna be so good.
What's he building?
We don't really know yet because he's changed it like 18 times. He's gonna build. It's an AR, but he doesn't know what size barrel, if he wants to do like with the pinned on muzzle, if he wants to do full 16. I keep saying 16, but I don't know. But originally he wanted to do, a
Caliber
pistol.
He's doing 5.56.
Yeah, he wanted to do 5.56. Well, then until he let him hold the 308, and he was just like, "Hey, I really like this AR-10. I think we should do this." And then it was like, "Well, those rounds cost a lot." But he's got an idea. It's just a matter of, and you can watch the other show. He talks about it, but he'll go when he designs the gun around you. So he'll go and give you a bunch of guns. Like, what do you like to do? What kind of grips? What kind of this? And then he's like, he'll give you a gun and kind of, you'll walk around the yard and kind of see how you hold the gun, how you react to things, how you look through the scope, and they'll just build it and literally tailor it to you. So it's like
cool.
Your gun. And when it's done, he goes out, shoots 150, 200 rounds, samples the whole thing, sends you a video of him doing it, and it's guaranteed for a year.
Yeah.
And it's like, for what it costs to do all that and have it exactly the way you want it, instead of doing, I'm not going to say myself, other people who buy guns and then change everything on it. This way, it's everything you want from the beginning. So his brother's diehard on it, and he's gonna build his own.
Like
so he
Magpul.
List it. Well, I was, listen, I was that for a long time, and that's why when I first met him, I was like, I got like Magpul.
What kind of grip do you want? Magpul.
He's like, I'm gonna get you off Magpul, and I was like, well, I mean, there's a lot of good stuff Magpul does, but I started switching a little bit to Strike Industries to make a lot of cool shit, really just aggressive looking stuff, and then BCM is always fun.
You do the flat triggers?
Listen, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm part of the flat trigger revolution.
Are you?
Yeah, you don't know that it's happening.
Interesting.
Flat trigger revolution, my friend. So I got a Geisley flat trigger.
Things.
I got a CMC. Yeah, your brother just got his. He sent me a picture. He goes, "Ooh, so sexy." Flat trigger revolution, my friend. That's what it is.
Shirts.
We're gonna start a podcast.
Flat trigger revolution.
Flat trigger revolution. And your brother goes, "That's good for a podcast." I go, "Who's gonna do it?" He goes, "I don't know. We'll just
you guys can use the studio.
Copyright.
I'll sit where you are. You two guys can come over.
Flat trigger revolution. That's what I said. And then I got the new Recoil magazine, and it's a big article, and it's just like Red Dot Revolution. I was like, what a bunch of fucking copycats. Like, I'm the one that's been saying flat trigger revolution the whole time.
I would contact
I'm
Harry
gonna
Aztec.
I'm gonna sue him. 6 hour, never know what hit him. Yeah. I'm all in for flat triggers. I shot one at the range, and that's what I told him.
I never shot him. I heard that.
Dude, I that was the argument we were laughing about, because he always makes fun of me. But we went to the range, and there was a guy that had one from CNC and one from Geisley, and I shot, and I was like, hey, I really like this Geisley trigger, and Geisley's Pennsylvania, and I was like, fuck yeah, look at this shit. And I started looking, I was like, he makes really good stuff, and then I saw the price, and I'm like, ooh, we should wait for that. And then when I got it, went to the range, and I said, this is amazing. I've since bought CMC triggers, and even like the Ruger that I got from his brother, I immediately went and bought a flat trigger. A couple pistols, I bought flat triggers. I'm just changing it. I just like the way it feels better. I think I don't know if it's because of the curve. There's a little bit of a take up. You don't think about it, but the padding of your finger is a little bit of a take up. But it's flat. There is none. You're there. Yeah, you're there. It's done. Mm-hmm. Love it. I'm never gonna go back.
Are you going to do things for, we've primarily been focused on the fishing, and, it is outdoors, so I'm guessing you're not just going to stick to fishing, but do you plan on doing hunting, or, like what's, I know this is kind of like what the focus is on now, but what's the grand scheme of what you want to do?
Flat trigger revolution. We're going to do
besides flat trigger sales.
I will incorporate that.
You're going to get a vending machine.
Listen, I'll buy you the banner. You can hang it up in your own.
You got your first sponsor.
There you go.
So, honestly, I would say it's like modeled. In my mind, modeled almost like a Dunkelberger's.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Fishing, hunting, small family-run shop. You know what I mean. Offering, hopefully bows. We get the FFL. Shotguns, rifles for local guys.
That'd be cool.
Luckily, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, I got accepted as DirtNap Gear's pro staff. So I'm on their pro staff now, and we'll be putting those. I have some here. We'll be putting those broadheads in the vending machine as well. So if people want to try those out, all fixed blade stuff.
How cool is that? You get to go to a vending machine, you can buy cool shit like that.
That's what I'm saying.
So you're gonna have those in the vending machines as
Hell
well?
yeah.
Yeah.
So, dude, you know how awesome it is? Because you know how much like you go out and something, anything. I'd buy that. Just I'd drive by and see it and be like, woo, pull over.
So he won, I forget the award, Best New Design or something like that a few years ago. But like people don't really know him that much. You know what I mean?
I've heard of him before, but because somebody told me, and then when I looked at him, I was like, oh, it's cool.
Yeah.
Because there's so many different ways you can go with those, and like you talk to one dude, and it's like, no, man, it's got to be this way. And then you talk to somebody that's complete opposite, and the truth is they both work.
Yeah, and it's cool. Like rather than buying a whole bunch of different arrows and stuff, he has the modular weight system, so it's like 100 or 125 grains.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So you don't got to mess around with it. But yeah, so we're doing some hunting aspects with it.
Yeah.
You imagine putting like ammo in the vending machine?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, maybe 300 blackout suppress would probably be awesome.
Yeah,
for less than 2. Damn it!
It's cool seeing just even when asking about the hunting aspect of it, because it's like you can bump your apparel up when the hunting seasons change and do the orange, and like there's a lot of ins and outs with it as to why I see the obsession that you have with it, because it's your passions and these things that you grew up on, and now you're creating it, and everything that you're kind of putting your hands on are things that you grew up doing, and it's really cool to see just you doing all this and everything you're doing.
If you can switch this thing and get it into more, like I said, into extreme family oriented things, like how it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like Johnny Appleseed, there's a whole shooting course you could take, and you go there, and it's like they teach young kids on how to do like gun safety, and it's a day of guns, and it's like that stuff needs to be brought back.
Yeah.
And if you can do something like that and have fish, not just hunting, but fishing and shooting.
You can do the tournaments and the events, and like we go out and do Total Archery Challenge, and there's a whole market with doing the 3D target shooting, and like that's the closest we get to doing. Like I know the guy Tim, I think his name's Tim. If he listens, I'm sorry if your name's not Tim.
Or Joe. Bob.
He he does some stuff in Jersey, and there's some different things, but we drive like, almost to Pittsburgh to go to this thing, where if somebody was doing some cool things in the area, do you have any plans for doing events or like things that'll kind of bring community together or like kind of put your name out there?
I mean, not right now, locally.
I got ideas. I think you should do something. Oh, and if you would need me to help you do it or kind of push you in the direction of doing it, I would have no problems reaching out. But you could definitely do some kind of collab thing with the restaurant up there. And I think if you did something like that, where you did, even if you just came there and like met people and just kind of did like a hands-on thing, or did some kind of like, not a pop-up because it's a restaurant, but I could figure it out. And I'll give you some different ideas, but I think you could definitely do something where it was like a meet and greet there, where you'd be able to meet the person that's supplying that, and you could like that whole community would be so huge for you to connect into.
And like I said, bring the family, get the family involved, do all that. I mean, in reality, and it's kind of stupid sounding, but you got to get kids back to doing this kind of shit.
Especially with like
doing shit on the streets.
Like if you reached out to like Stockertown or these places that have these memberships, and you get involved with them and be like, hey man, like we're gonna do this fishing thing, and you let everybody use one of your worms or whatever, and you set it up, and you start doing these fishing tournaments, and I mean, we would love to be involved in something like that, where then we could reach out to our sponsors and have prizes that people could win. And there's a lot of shit you could do to grow this locally.
My uncle had a great idea with that. That's a card.
Yeah. Cool.
My uncle had a great idea. He fishes all the time, and he said you go out to like the boat ramps at like 5 a.m. when the hardcore fishermen are there.
Oh hell yeah,
dude! Give out some like free samples.
Yeah.
Hey, this is my card. You like it? And I think that's a good idea as well.
Even just because if you do the local stuff and do stuff like that and do a couple events and do, because you can do like a pop-up at Stockertown. So it's like if you did something like that where you got a bunch of people to come out and you're just, doing your thing up there, but then at the same time you're also going and hitting these people in the morning, reaching out to just local people. Like there's probably a bunch of fishing people around here, like the guy we had on, like that have followings that you can just be like, yo man, I'm going to send you, you give them one of each in these and you just start handing them out there. I don't know. It's really exciting to watch you grow.
Yeah, who knows if we'll even get accepted, but I put in an application for the Great American Outdoor Show out there in Harrisburg. So to be a vendor, you just fill out the application. I have no idea of the price, no idea of anything. I'm like,
You deal with that later.
That's how you get into that
Listen,
shit. Like,
sign up for everything and deal with the price later. If it's too much, be like,
that's how it was with getting into the tattoo conventions.
Yeah.
It's like I tried for years, I couldn't, and then finally they say, "Oh, we saw it. What do you think?" And then you get in it, and once you're in it, you're just kind of how it worked in the tattoo industry is you were already accepted into the following year, and then you had to walk away, and then when people walk away, that's when like the new vendors can come in. But maybe I think you should definitely do shit like that.
Yeah, we're trying anything and everything. Trying to get the name out there. Even if we go out there and don't say a goddamn thing and I take a picture with Eva Shockey, it would be a success for me.
Who cares?
It's just getting your name out there. I mean, I've done conventions where I sold nothing and it was a terrible, terrible time sitting there. But then it's the networking while you're there. And then it's the people I met that were in the booth next to me. And then you start knowing these people and then they know somebody and then they're supporting your gear because you're next to them. And it's like, it's not so much about what you move. And it is about what you move at those, but the networking itself where you can meet someone who
you can't pay for that.
Yeah. Like if somebody comes up and they're like, man, what a cool story. I love your drive. You're making all this stuff by yourself. Then they take it and they're like, hey, this works. And then they're like, we would like to be partners. Like that shit is all networking. And, so it's like,
it's key.
That's worth it.
And my brother, I want to say he's going to be a senior next year, Florida Gulf Coast down in Florida.
Yeah.
Freaking awesome place. His roommate, who he's moving into a house with, his dad, Captain Rick Murphy, look this dude up on Instagram, has like 4 podcasts, 3 shows. He's like one of the most famous fishermen out there on the Outdoor Channel. I'm like, Andrew, how have you not told me this?
Yeah,
what is going on right now?
Yeah,
like, hook me up, dude. So,
yeah, there it is. Host of
Crazy
Sportsman, Florida Fishing Report, and
he's like, oh yeah, he was just out in Texas. He fished like the whole weekend. It's freaking awesome.
But
like this is just fishing,
dude. Imagine that's your life. You get paid to go out and fish. That's a dream.
Looks like a decent follow too. I'm gonna follow him.
Yeah,
he's got 40,000 followers. That's a total hookup.
Yeah,
you need to force him to make that happen.
I will force it.
I want to wrap up. Just it's late and whatnot, and I think it's awesome what you're doing. There's people who I really enjoy different versions of businesses coming on, and sometimes it's important to have somebody on who's in the beginning of the business who's extremely passionate and you're never going to stop doing this.
Absolutely not. Absolutely.
But I love it because you're like, I told my wife this, but it's what I remember that keeps me still going. So I think it's important sometimes where people see somebody who's coming on and they're not like, oh, all right, like you don't know what roads to go down, and you're at a very cool part of this business and enjoy it because down the road it's just numbers and annoyances. But I love everything you're doing. I think the outdoor stuff's awesome. I think we need somebody in the area to be doing what you're doing. I would love if you took over Mike's bait shop, and there's so many awesome things there that you can bring that back to life. And I feel like there's a calling for somebody to do this in the area, and I feel like you're the perfect person to do it. I want to give you a second to plug all of what you're doing, where anyone can get your bait, definitely where the live bait thing is, and all of your social media. And I would love to bring you back on with Mike because I've been thinking about bringing Mike back on, and it would be cool to do like a fishing show and have you guys just kind of rip
sign the contract right here live on the podcast. That'd be great. Just need an investor.
Yeah,
Marco Andretti would be
too.
Great. Marco Andretti. So you can find anything we have: the DirtNap Broadheads, the Fish or Die Bait Company bait that we're selling, live bait as well, t-shirts, hats, stickers, you name it, all on the website, www.droptineoutdoors.com. Again, live bait vending machine at Family and Friends Restaurant right off of 512 there in Bushkill Township. And I'm look forward to come back. I appreciate having us on.
Absolutely, man. Do you have anything to close the show out with this time?
No.
Oh my God.
Nothing.
He usually has a quote. He usually has something fun. What I'll do is
I have some more Clint Smith folks.
Cut to me.
It's more of a gun
cut
thing.
Cut to me. I'll close out, and then you can do your.
Yeah, but
Here, I'll let you look over. Switch to camera 1.
Yeah, but then you're going to come back to me and I'm still not going to be ready.
I'm going to give you plenty of time. Camera 1. All right, if you're a first-time listener, first-time watcher, first-time everything at all, it is neveragainstudio.com. You can go there and get everything that we do. We have our YouTube on there. We have our audio on there. We have our apparel on there. If you're a small business and you're looking for advertising, if you need apparel for your small business, if you need anything for a small business at all, our information's on there, or contact me directly. The other thing that we're doing is Nazo Ammo. It's nazoammo.com. We are moving Keystone munitions. We have 9mm out the yin yang. We have no limit purchasing, and we can deliver where we can ship in PA, or you can pick up at the studio with a promo code. If you need ammo, hit that up or hit me up directly. So in closing, nazoammo.com, neveragainstudio.com. Jesse has his quote and he's ready to close.
It's not about fishing or anything, but it's still, it's guns. So Clint Smith, wonderful Marine Corps veteran, 7 years as a police officer, firearms training guy, big time. So we'll end with this one. This is pretty good. If you're not shooting, you should be loading. If you're not loading, you should be moving. If you're not moving, someone's going to cut your head off and put it on a fucking stick.
There you go. I feel like you need to add
it's very
music
nice
playing in the background.
How about this one? Make your attacker advance through a wall of bullets. I may get killed with my own gun, but he's going to have to beat me to death with it because it's going to be empty.
Enjoy.
What a good guy.
Check out all the stuff that this guy's doing. All the links for him will be in the info below. Thanks so much for coming on, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good.